Hi guys, I'm Convertible. This is my very first YouTube video. Some of you may know me, but for those who don't, I'm a Fortnite coach, and I've worked with lots of pro players like Kenneth, Power, Myth, and the list goes on for a bit. But basically I used to be the head coach and lead analyst for the Samsung Fortnite team, and now I'm on Gen G Esports, which stands for Generation Gaming. I'm a management member for the FN Pro League and the Practice Discord, often referred to as the Pro Discord. If you have any questions about this video, just feel free to ask. I'm sorry about the quality. I'm just learning all this at the moment. What you guys are about to watch is a video on how to study rotations from the fall skirmish and how to bluff in Fortnite. So I really hope you guys enjoy. Alright. So in these games, you guys need to realize, okay, where are people going to go? So let's think about it, alright? How much time do we have left in start? Let's see.
Shotgun. He's got a swap weapon for it. Distance, very accurate players, so we'll take advantage of that. But
okay. The moment this happens, now this is something you're not going to see where everyone is in your own map, right? This is only for, reviewing from things like skirmish, things that, that you can see everyone's play. What you want to do is you want to try and plan out, which way everyone's going and what the consequences are. When you do this, you learn punishment, value, risk, and reward a lot better. So those 4 things: punishment, value, risk, reward. This team, probably going to hug this way, get into the vortex area, and then after that it's ambiguous. So we'll do, and then maybe into vortex. This team can just float around the vortex. This team, probably just going to turtle here. This team maybe takes this high ground, and then goes over here as well if they want to. They have no reason to take this high ground. Actually, they have actually no reason to take that. My bad. Yeah, punishment, value, risk, reward. This team probably just gonna oh Jesus. Okay. Why is it doing that? It says it's small brush. Okay. This team, probably just going to glide. Maybe take a rock. Glide in. This team, same plan. Go in. This team, glides in. This team, maybe snakes in, bases in there. Same with this. Same with this. Around there. Value is potential. Reward is what you actually get from it. These guys, probably turtle here, probably here. I guess that would be all of these guys just go and fight maybe here, here. These guys should hold. All of these guys probably over here. Maybe even rotate around to this way. These guys probably rotate into Greasy. This guy just hits crate, stays up here on his own mountain. Okay, so now you've mapped everyone's routes. Now you map all the zones of conflict. Okay, so where are people going to meet up a lot? Well, this is going to be a huge conflict zone. This is going to be an astronomical conflict zone. Well, it seems like there's going to be a fight here because they're so close together. It's going to be a huge conflict zone in this valley area. And then there's going to be, maybe there's a skirmish or 2 here. Right? Now you've identified everyone's general conflict zone. And so when you do this, you think, okay, so what do the people in Haunted probably have? Probably have a lot of brick. What do these guys probably have? They probably have, some wood, some steel, some brick. You got to evaluate and you got to know these locations and see what they give you. When you know the locations that well, you're able to, if you see an enemy coming from that location at, maybe even an earlier stage than this even, you get to say, okay, these guys landed here. They're going to have X amount of wood. They're going to have, around X amount of wood. Or they're going to have, X amount of brick, X amount of steel. And people sometimes do this with the Infinite Rift and Wailing Maze. If people go whaling, everyone knows that they have a rift. So why don't we do that with materials? If they go whaling, everyone knows that people who come out of whaling uncontested have lots of wood. It happens with Westworld. Or sorry, it happens with Mexico. Cloak and Tfue go there, uncontested, they come out with a ton of loot. You know this. How do you know this? Because it happens every game on average. On average, it happens. And so when you conduct these averages for each location, early, mid, okay, maybe not mid, but early game at the very least, you're able to see on all these points of interest what they specialize in and on average what you get. Some of them are more rounded, some of them aren't. Sure, there can be rare occurrences like llamas, like crates, but on average, like, you can't account for those things. You're not trying to account for loot. You're not trying to see if a guy has, like, this guy probably has a blue AR or a green tac, and maybe, like, I don't know, like a gold minigun or something. You're not trying to account for what they have in their inventory. Sure, you can do that, depending on how many chests they have, but that's a little bit more specific, and I'll get into that in a second. But what you definitely can do is you can account for around how much material they have based on the time they've spent farming, where they landed, and if they had to, if you heard any gunshots or anything like that. Now, before we get into, what weaponry they may have, why don't we just look at their health pools. We know when you're in a third party, or when you fight someone who's just been, like, fighting, when you are the third party, the guy's probably low, hasn't had time to evaluate himself, hasn't been able to get his bearings. Now, how do you know this? Because on average, that's what happens. And why do people take third parties? Because they usually win those. Now, you can assume someone's health after a third party. Why? Because they just got done doing something. What did they get done doing? They got done fighting. So, why can't we do that with chests? Well, it's a little bit more complicated with chests. So, we're gonna... I don't know how to zoom in with this, actually. I think this is it. I don't want to draw anything. Okay, so let's go this warehouse, alright? That warehouse. I have no idea off the top of my head how many chests that warehouse has. 1, 2, 3, 4 max. I think 4 max. No, 5 max, pretty sure. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's 5 max. I don't want to Google it. Let's call it 5. Let's just say 5, alright, boys? We'll say 5. We'll say 5 chests. Just for even numbers. Or for easy numbers. Now, because this area has 5 chests, let's say, out of those 5 chests, you and your team hit 4 of them. Alright? You and your teammate hit 4 of the 5 chests. Therefore, there's 1 chest remaining. And how would you hit 4 out of the 5 chests? Okay, the guy just landed outside on, like, the pickup truck or something, right? There's a chest in the pickup truck. That's the only chest he was able to get. He landed there. On average, you can assume he has a weapon, a little bit of ammo. May not even be a good weapon, a weapon that he can use. It might be just to be like, I don't know, like... I have no clue. Maybe he has a minigun or something with 30 bullets. Alright? You can conclude that you guys are better off economically in terms of loot, in terms of ammo, and in terms of material. Why? Because you hit more chests. Knowing what section of the map control gives you the highest yield is extremely valuable, and it gets you that confidence. So know the routes to the chests, boys. And if someone tries to contest you when you have hit more chests, then on average, you might be better off. There will be that one occurrence where you get, oh, my emote's approved. There will be that one occurrence where you get, oh, this guy had a golden scar, or he got a golden heavy off that one chest and you only got green ARs, or gray bursts, right? There's always going to be that occurrence. But on average, you will be statistically better off economically because of this. And so this can be applied to chests, materials, locations, rotations, anything like that. The last, like, what? I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Maybe the last, like, 10 minutes is probably the most important part of this video. In the stream, actually. So, hopefully everyone understand that. I'm going to leave this here for, like, a few more seconds. And I'm going to take questions now if you guys have any questions. If no questions, then just sit tight and we'll move on. Exactly. Sometimes you want to push for a house just to deny the loot potential. How long do these streams last? Probably like 2 hours. Alright, moving on. Yes, like a bluff. Bluffing is also used for material. Material goes... I think it's called the auto swap system. Material in the auto swap system goes wood. Oh, this is a bad color. It goes wood, brick, steel. That's the auto swap mechanic in Fortnite. How does it auto swap? When wood is 0, it goes to brick. When brick is 0, it goes to steel. When steel is 0, I'm pretty sure it goes back to wood. But auto swap isn't the only way you can swap. Everyone is used to auto swap. Every single person is used to auto swap because it is a built-in mechanic in the game that most people use. Pretty sure most people use this. If not everyone. However, when someone goes wood, brick, steel, you think that they're out of wood, out of brick. Because, oh, it must be the auto swap mechanic. That's the only reason they would change to brick. And then instantly change to steel. They must be out of wood. They must be out of brick. Well, that's not always the case. Without using auto swap, you're able to swap from wood to brick to steel. And you could have 200, you could have 300, you could have 400. But because you're basically replicating the auto swap, the enemy is just going to think, oh, this guy's running low on material. And since this guy is running low on material, you're going to see, oh, okay, I guess I can push this guy. I have more material than him because he's completely out of wood, he's completely out of brick. Well, that's not always the case. Because it could just be a fake. It could just be a bluff. There you go.